Yo, real talk, if you like Star Fox or Rogue Squadron, you better watch the rest of this video review, man. It's JC, your boy from the Famicast, and I'm here with the review of Red Wings, Aces of the Sky. So yeah, as you can see, this is a flight game, and it looks pretty nice. It's very colorful, has a nice cartoony look to it, and it is super easy to get into. It's so easy to get into that you actually don't even need the tutorial, which they do have, and the tutorial is good, but seriously, you don't even need to do it. It's very instantly playable. How does it play? It plays, like I mentioned at the start, it's kind of like Star Fox. It's the all-range mode from Star Fox, or Rogue Squadron if you like that. Waves after waves of enemies coming at you. That's where you want it, right? Shoot them and shoot them down. So you're shooting down plays, you're getting combos, and yeah, just like World War I, which is when this is based. And there's loads of cool moves. ZL will zoom in and you can kind of lock onto enemies, and it's got a little aim assist to it as well, so you can take people down easier. And then with the Y button, you're going to call in your squadron and they'll come in and attack the enemy that you've targeted. Very useful. And then B button is a quick turn. And then X is for an insta-kill if the enemy is low on health. And weirdly, it's A to do a barrel roll. Not Z or R twice. And all of these moves have a cooldown, so you can't just mash them. You have to use them when you need it. So this game is basically a story-based single-player game. And the story mode, you can actually choose from a German side or British side. And the stories are told in the kind of a sketchy kind of comic book style, which kind of suits the overall look of the game, right? But to be honest, the comic books things looked kind of unfinished or rushed. I don't know if they were doing them with a tight deadline or something, but it doesn't really matter. They're not really that important. And the voice actors are also, they're okay. I mean, there is some kind of dodgy German accents and also some dodgy British accents. I'm honestly not even sure where these actors are from. But I guess the American one's okay. And the two story paths, the British and German ones, they're quite different. Sometimes you're even playing the same mission like from the opposite side. So for example, as the Germans, you're destroying blimps, and then you switch over to the British side and then you're protecting the blimps. So yeah, kind of like that. At the end of each mission, you're given 1, 2, or 3 stars, and then those stars can actually be traded to upgrade your abilities. So kind of RPG-ish, I guess. These things do like shortening the cooldown time for the moves that I mentioned before, and yeah, some other kind of little upgrades to your little plane there. And this game is not too hard, but it can get more difficult on the later stages, and the enemies have some decent AI. They will actually, they'll flank you, they'll go behind you, they'll take you down, and there is no protection out there. It's only the clouds to hide in, and so you can be taken down if you're not too careful. Some of the harder enemy types introduced in the later stages have like shields, and then the shields actually regain their strength if you take too long to take them down. Yeah, just like in World War I, right? Another thing, you can actually run out of fuel, so you'll need to fly through some rings that are dotted around the stages, and they'll top up your health as well, so 2 for 1. So most of the stages are regular shooty stages, but there are some bombing missions, and these are viewed from overhead. These are okay, and they're slightly less fun. I prefer the regular stages, to be honest. And there are also some refueling stages where basically you just fly through rings, kind of like flying through the silver rings in Star Fox. These are kind of fun. I mean, if you like the flying part of it. Some more variety would have been nice though. You do find yourself kind of repeating the same thing. You're shooting blimps, shooting planes, and then more enemies arrive, more enemies spawn, and then you're doing the same thing. If you imagine those big stages in Rogue Squadron where just like waves after waves of enemies are coming at you, it's sometimes can feel a little bit like that. So if you're playing through 1 or 2 missions, you might think, yeah, it's okay, it's fun, just jump in there for a couple of missions. But if you're playing in long stretches, it can feel a little bit repetitive. It's like you're just doing the same thing again and again and again. So yeah, maybe this game isn't one to play in like 6-hour sittings, maybe just a little bit every night. But overall, this game is super enjoyable, and the gameplay, the feeling is, they've really nailed it, and it's incredibly fun. Which is kind of disappointing when you think about things that it's missing. Like, for example, like a 4-player split screen would have been good. There is a 2-player story mode. You can actually do the story with another guy. But there's no online features, for example. I mean, how cool would an online dogfighting be in this game? I mean, that would have been awesome, right? And the 4-player split screen, come on, Star Fox 64 did it like 20 years ago. Anyway, but that's not to say that the game is good without it. So yeah, I'm gonna give this game an 8 out of 10. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video review and you've never visited our YouTube channel before, we would really appreciate a subscribe. That would be awesome. A like, even more awesome. And if you subscribe and turn on notifications, you'll actually be told, when we get new videos. And we're a podcast, so, you'll be told when we're going live. And I'll probably be talking about this on one episode of the podcast. So yeah, give us a listen if you can. Thanks so much. Until next time, JC out. Peace.
Drink to me all in the cup, and I'll not look for wine. The thirst that from the soul doth rise, doth ask a drink divine.